there has to be a unique character trait to being the person who is okay being behind the lens, the person being behind the scenes, the person who sees the value in capturing the experiences of others.
During that time in high school, there were some rough moments, and it made me really realize you've got one shot at this life thing. It's up to you to make it the best. It's honest work and it's fun. And I was like, all right, let's give it a shot. The shot turned into let's make it a career. At 18, I could do all that and work with these people. It was really great. It was awesome.
Welcome to Keep Hustling, where we are going past the why to get to the how. I'm your host, the always hustling Aaron Gordon, aka NY Risk Advisor, aka Mr. #Keep Hustling. In this podcast, we will be diving deep into the professional and personal successes of our guests to find out how they hustled through the most difficult times in their life and their development to achieve the success they've gotten to today. So buckle up for what hopes to be an amazing ride. And of course, now and always, keep hustling. Welcome to Keep Hustling with my guest, Tyler Caisse. Tyler, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Excited to be here.
I get pumped when I have a guest all the way from the West Coast. I think of nice weather. I think I've been to San Francisco one time in my life, but my wife is from California. So when I hear Cali, I get excited.
Yep. It's 83 and sunny right now. So.
And you're sitting inside in a sweatshirt for those who are so
the heater is on too. Yeah.
For the people, for the sake of the Keep Hustling podcast listeners, I just want to tell everybody how grateful we should be to Tyler. Instead of 83 and sunny, he's sitting inside dealing with us. So we greatly appreciate having you. I actually don't think in 120 or so episodes of the Keep Hustling podcast that we have ever had somebody whose life is lived behind the camera. Many people whose lives are in front of the camera, many people who have podcasts, many people who have careers of their own, many people who make content, and obviously I'm sure you do all that. But
excited to be the first.
Oh my God. Oh, I just have to correct. I can't believe I did that. Dave Levenger. Dave, don't kill me. Dave is an awesome videographer, and I can't believe I just said that. So besides you and Dave, but I did
I'll claim the first photographer then.
Yeah, so as I was formulating the question in my head, and I realized that I asked Dave the same question. So that's why it came to me. There has to be a unique character trait to being the person who is okay being behind the lens, the person being behind the scenes, the person who sees the value in capturing the experiences of others. That doesn't mean not having your own experiences.
Yeah.
But that means that when your craft is making my experience as the consumer forefront.
Yep.
And your experience behind. In fact, if you're photographing my wedding, I want you to disappear into oblivion, right? If you're photographing a concert, you don't even want to exist.
Nope.
If you know what I mean.
Yep.
Well, where does that come from? How'd you discover that? How did you discover that as your calling?
I always liked photos. I never liked getting photos taken of me. I had a longtime family friend who did photography as well. And so he sort of brought me into the industry a little bit. Sort of just showed me like, hey, this is like what I do. Didn't really do much of it till high school. And then it really started taking off for me there. But it definitely takes a lot to just be like, you know what? Sometimes I'll get great credit for things. And then other times it's like, hey, no one knows I was there. Sort of to what you were saying. Behind the scenes, just you're gone.
You know what's great? You know what must be great? Although I assume, again, getting some famous recognition and credit is awesome.
Yeah.
But I feel like when you see, like, you walk... I don't know if this has ever happened, but if it were to happen, I feel like it would be amazing. Like you walk into someone's home or you walk into like a business and there's the shot that you took.
Yep.
The scenery, of their wedding, of that, and it's like, and the people who you've worked with, like if you took my headshot, you came with my office, you'd assume to see it. But like, I just imagine that like you walk into this like, store and boom, there's a Tyler, Caisse original and you're like, holy smokes.
Yeah. It's interesting and it's fun to watch when things travel and you don't know that it travels there. You take a picture for so-and-so, and then months later, you go to some other place that's completely unrelated to you, and bam, your work's sitting right there. It's it's nice to know, and those people will never know that you were the one who took it most of the time. But it keeps you humble. It keeps you steady, and it's a nice like internal feeling of like, wow, like that thing that I did is there. Nobody knows it, and it's just like it's a nice reassurance for sure.
And not to give Dave another shout out, but he deserves it after I just totally mocked him earlier. But I love, I'll tell you what, I love taking pictures and videos of the videographers and the photographers, because like I think you like if a person is willing to actually analyze what Tyler is willing to do to get the perfect shot, it's nuts, right?
It's
Like
crazy.
like I've seen it. I've seen people like get on their back and like, one arm or all this kind of stuff. And it's like when
Yeah.
you see that, you realize that this is really someone who's passionate about their craft, the good
Yeah.
ones. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
and it's not just a photo, because in the end of the day, this is what locks in the memories. And I feel like there's a huge responsibility there.
Yeah. And I used to have my friends in high school used to take funny pictures of me in those spots, like laying down, bending over backwards, and they'd find it comical, but like now it's like those are great. I love that they have those pictures of me or that they've sent me them because it like shows how much like I'm putting into it. But at the time it was just fun and jokes.
100%. You say in your bio, I lately I've been really picking on the bios and having fun with them. I am a firm believer, referring to yourself.
Okay.
You have one life to live. You have one life, so live it.
Yep.
This is one thing that truly inspired me to follow my dream of becoming a professional photographer. Can you take us to the moment where you realized that it was one life and your calling was being a photographer? If you could take us to it.
Yeah. I ran a lot in high school. Like that was my sport, running. And so throughout that and throughout like the time of that, I used it to sort of be a mental escape for sure. And it sort of helped me stay calm and have my nice moments. And during that time in high school, there were some rough moments, and it made me really realize like, hey, like you've got one shot at this life thing. Like it's up to you to make it the best. And that's it. No matter what anyone else does, at the end of the day, you're the one who's breathing through your lungs. And like, that's it. And coming to high school, COVID hit my sophomore year. I'm pretty young. And
Holy smokes, you're young.
Yeah.
Holy
I'm
moly.
20. I just turned 22. Yeah.
I think probably youngest guest in the history of the podcast.
I'll take it.
Hustler,
Yeah.
I like it.
So COVID hit my sophomore year, and we just started a program at our high school called SLAM. It was an academy for multimedia, and I liked it. We joined it for friends because all your friends were in it, and I started to like photography a little bit more during that time. I still had classes, so I bought my own camera. I started doing stuff with it, and then I started doing motocross photography, and that's where it sort of really took off for me. And I was like, you know what? This is what I like to do. It's fun. It's hard work. My parent, my dad and my grandparents were all like sheet metal, blue collar. And so I was like, okay, I want to make something a little bit more. Nothing wrong with that. I did internships with it. And then I was like, you know what? This is hard work. I work hard, and it's honest work, and it's fun. And I was like, all right, let's give it a shot. And then it just kept going, and the shot turned into let's make it a career. And then now we're here today. So it's been a long journey.
I want to tell you something amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm giving you props on this. I am older than 20. I'm not very old. There's gray in my beard. And I am a father of 5 children. So I want to tell you 2 things.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I just want to greatest thing in the world. But I want to tell you 2 things that I just learned from that answer. Number 1, I found a positive thing that came out of COVID.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And number 2, and I'm digging in on this.
Yeah.
I did not think that you were going to tell me that you discovered, again, you have one life, that if you have one life, you might as well live it. I'm going to paraphrase. I think you say, so live it.
Yeah.
At such a young age.
Yeah.
Do you think that was because of COVID that you became more introspective or like what?
No,
Because that's a thing.
yeah. I had some not to dig too deep in on it, but during middle school, 8th grade, and a little bit of early high school, I had some pretty dark personal things going on with a lot of friends and a lot of myself. And it sort of clicked and it was like, hey, you gotta click some stuff into shape. Like, and then throughout that it just made me realize. So it was pretty early on. And I've always sort of carried myself that way because of it. Of sort of like, hey, you know, just because you're young doesn't mean you have to act young all the time. There's moments to be a great professional adult, and sometimes those are the moments.
I I think that it is so incredible that what do they say that some of the most creative things in the world come from a dark place,
Hmm.
and I don't think anybody deserves to go through a challenging time.
Yeah,
But what I would say is that many people, and this is really what Keep Hustling, this is one of the foundations of Keep Hustling, is taking those life moments, taking those things that happen because things happen to everybody.
yeah,
And at that moment, people have two choices:
yeah.
define, redefine, and analyze and dig into their hustle,
Nope.
or have it a negative impact on them.
Nope.
Meaning the thing has happened. The moment has happened. The moment has occurred. The challenge is there. Do we take it? Do we grab it by the horns? Do we make it? Do we leverage it to inspire our hustle, or do we let it negatively impact us, and therefore we don't get to have that incredible impact on the world? So I'm
Yeah.
inspired by you and by the fact that you had that level of inter.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to. So you say, and I know, I'm fascinated by photography. I wish I was better at it. I got into this whole video thing through the podcast and through some content and things like that.
Yeah.
Um, Once I answered the call to be behind the lens, there's been no looking back, and it's been full throttle ever since. This is the next part I love.
Yeah.
The experience I have faced throughout my photography career have brought tears of joy, sadness, confusion, and above all, loads of pride in the work that I've accomplished.
Yeah.
Take us, go. Well, what are you thinking when I read that line?
No, I honestly, it's great. Like I was just thinking to myself how like I'm proud of what I wrote. Like it's been a roller coaster from like the very beginning. Like I said, I started in high school, doing high school sports, high school portraits, stuff like that, and then COVID started doing motocross. And that's where some of that wording comes in. Like going full throttle, like that was a little bit of throwback for me there. Um, but yeah, it's been hard. Like I started touring the country towards the end of my senior year. I did the entire season of outdoor motocross along with Monster Energy, and it was awesome. I learned a lot there.
You get like, you have any like sick pictures of like the mud like
Oh yeah.
splitting? And like it's like
Oh,
the perfect thing where like
yep.
you get the ride. And like
They're so nice.
not block.
Yeah,
So good.
I love them. It was some of the best photography work I've ever done for sure. And to be able to start it like like 1 maybe 2 years into my like full like we're gonna try this out, um, was awesome. And so, but I mean, we had 22-hour drives. I mean, I was gone every week. Um, it was a lot of work, and there was lots of late nights, lots of tears, and just but the pride and like the motivation that it gave me to be like, you know, I did it and we're going to keep doing it was a lot. Like just to say that as at 18, I was the youngest photographer out there. At 18, I could do all that and work with these people. It was really great. It was awesome. Um,
And you know what's amazing about that? I think people would be envious of you experiencing that at such a young age, because some will say it's quick success, it's getting to the top, but there's a
yep,
certain what a lot of people struggle with is feeling like they belong in the room.
yep. No, 100%.
And once you get that shot, once you have that, there's a motocross event and you have the shot that everyone's envious of, after
Mhm.
a day, 2, 3, 4 days. And it doesn't mean you're going to get it every time.
No.
That doesn't mean that you have some secret sauce that nobody else has.
Yeah.
But it's like, if I could do this here, next week I can do the next thing. And if I don't, and if I fail, I can hark back to the success
Yep.
that I had. And I think
Yep.
that there's got to be something so powerful about that at a young age, that now you can do anything.
Yeah. And then also, like, just because you failed that one time, you still got next week. Like I said, you got one shot, like, at this life. You got to live it. Just because you failed that one time or you missed that shot, man, dude, there's a race next week. No one cares about it anymore. Um, it was like, so I was shooting for magazines during that time, and there's deadlines, even with 49er stuff. Like, you have to get that stuff to the people quick, because after a couple days, they don't care. It's done. So if you miss that, if you mess up on submitting something, whatever it is, chances are in a week, people have forgotten about it. You got to move on. And that's what I learned early there too, which definitely helped face some struggles later on.
What's a moment of confusion? I'm fascinated by that.
How do I do this? Where do I go? Who do I talk to? I mean, all of my friends were getting ready to go to college. I mean, they could talk to all the counselors, figure it out.
Suckers.
Yeah.
Suckers.
And they're great. They're awesome. I'm so proud of all my friends who've gone off to do some amazing things so far, but I was alone in it. I was like, no one could really help me. I mean, I'm miles from home trying to figure out how to take a picture of a dirt bike. And just figuring out, hey, where am I going to get my money? Like, for me, it's not all about the money, but it's important. I mean, you gotta live.
I gotta eat.
I gotta eat. I gotta put something over my head. So just finding that and just trying to figure it out led to a lot of confusion. And even just like when that season ended and I wasn't sure if I was going to do the next season, just like, what do I do next? It brought up a lot of confusion, for sure.
What's the dream?
So many.
Go for it. We're here to listen, because you are.
Yeah.
I've been. It's been a while since I've been this inspired on an episode. So
Thank you.
and on a very deep level. So I appreciate you.
Part of my dream's coming soon. Coming true soon. I'm getting married. Super excited for that. Thank you. Yeah, the dream for the past few years has definitely been to like start my family. And just find joy in that. So getting to do that and trying to find ways for my career to like fully provide for that so I don't have to worry. It's definitely coming, and that's the goal for sure. That's the dream. Just
What does she think of your crazy?
She loves it. She loves it.
She's like, this guy's a psycho. I'm so normal hanging out with him. He takes pictures of motocross. He was taking pictures of motocross when he was 18. What a nutcase.
Yeah, I actually met her at the very start of that. So we pretty much started our relationship long distance, and we did 3 years of long distance after that. But that's probably how I got her to like talk to me a little bit more, was that like she's a grade above me, so when you're like at that age, like that means a lot. She was already in college and I was like, yeah, but I'm a photographer and I do all this and that and I work for Monster, and it was like, oh, okay. And so that definitely helped out.
Maybe he isn't a loser.
Yeah. And now she's like my biggest supporter. She pushes me through all of it and just tries to nail me down, do it even when I don't want to.
What do you think is the most misunderstood part of when people see a photographer working or think of the career of photography?
I say it as a joke sometimes. A lot of photographers do. I'm just here and I just push buttons. Like, that's probably the most misunderstood point for sure. I do a lot more than just push a button. There's a lot that has to go into pushing that button and setting it up right. And then also, Like part of the dream's always like when you go and you're like, man, I want to be a photographer. You want to go and take pictures. Unfortunately, especially early on in the career, you aren't taking photos a lot. It's like 20-30% photos. The rest is all editing and back end and business stuff. And it's just like, it's hard sometimes. You're like, man, I didn't sign up to do this. I signed up to make my own schedule, and here I am working more than I thought I ever would on stuff I don't want to be doing right now. So that's definitely another like misconception, is that like it's just a little, it's easy. You go, you show up, you take pictures, you go home, you send them out. It's like, sure, you could try and do that. It won't work. You won't be able to build a career off of it. Um, you gotta learn your craft. You gotta practice. There's a lot that goes into pushing that single button, the multiple buttons at a time. A lot of times.
I feel like I have to ask you. First of
Yeah.
all, I agree with you 100%. And people like, it's like the guy foul shot in the game 7 of like he's taken thousands and thousands and thousands before, so people don't realize what went into that,
Yeah.
or people do at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
What about the fact that like the perfect shot is a fleeting second and you could miss it? I don't know
Yeah.
why I just thought of that. Like, the camera jams, it's over. That
Yep.
bird is never flying over that horizon with that raindrop coming.
Yeah.
So the glory or the pride or the awesome
Yeah. The
elevation
awesomeness. Yeah.
of like the perfect shot is like, oh, it was right there. It was right there.
Yep. Yep.
And I can't blame the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was right there.
Yep.
So
Yep.
like, what about that? The pressure of just like nailing that, or
Yeah.
I always say about like sporting events. I was a high school athlete,
Mm-hmm.
and it took my parents used to videotape a bunch of my games, and one of the things that it took a long time to get them to stop doing is watching the game, because when you're filming, you can get distracted, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, like, the game is moving this way, and the camera's stuck here because your
Yeah.
head turns. So like, what about the fact that like you've probably been at things and missed the moments because you were focused on the
Oh yeah.
picture?
For sure. So current work with 49ers, like I miss a lot of that stuff sometimes. They're like, oh, did you like watch the game? Did you like the game? Yeah, it was
Meanwhile,
great.
you got a picture of the guy who's
Meanwhile,
injured in the tent.
exactly. Or I'm doing photographing some other people, or I'm getting the fans, which is like you learn like the importance of every role, and that no matter what you're shooting for a team, like it's all equally important.
Right, but at the same time, it is pretty cool to be the
Yeah.
guy who took the shot
For
of
sure.
the guy catching the game-winning touchdown
$1,000,000%.
versus the lifelong fan whose reaction is cool
Yeah.
and it's great, and that's
Yeah.
going to make it. That's part of the whole experience. But in the end,
Yeah.
you really want to be the guy who's getting that
Yeah.
shot on the field.
Yeah, 100%. So not missing those shots, but another important thing that I tell like beginner photographers, I guess would sort of go with like the whole not missing shots, is like you have to know your camera. I can sit there with my camera, close my eyes, and I can navigate all the important buttons with my eyes shut, so that later on, when that moment happens and I'm like, shoot, that setting's wrong, I can change it like that, rather than trying to figure it out, and I can still get that shot. Because sometimes you do miss those shots, but you want to try to limit missing those perfect shots as much as you can.
I love this. It's such a fascinating career. What's the
Yeah.
if I could give you can go anywhere and photograph anything or any event, where are we going?
I really want to go shoot the Olympics. That's been my goal since like probably early high school when I
All
started
right, let's do it.
this.
Whoever's listening to the KHP,
Yeah.
let's get Tyler at the Olympics. Let's go.
Place, yeah. Middle school was running, like I ran, as I mentioned, and so I wanted to run in the Olympics, like as an athlete. And then now I just want to shoot him. I want to shoot all the sports in the Olympics, all the moments. Just it fascinates me. It'd be so fun.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Tyler, I'm super inspired by you. This is crazy. 20 years old, doing all the good stuff, motocross, getting the living life to your fullest. I think you have it right, regardless of
Thank you.
of what happens, whether you're at the Olympics. I know big things are coming. I look forward.
Yeah,
to
no,
following it.
I'm blessed and I'm grateful. I mean, I did motocross for like I did it for one season and a couple events after, a little bit before, and now it's full Niner stuff. San Francisco 49ers. Good luck this week. All right, I hope they did good because it's coming out a little bit later. But
Yeah.
I'm
Oh my
loving
God,
it.
you could be at the Super Bowl.
We could. We're really hoping. We're really
Holy
hoping.
shnikes.
Yeah. So that's why I
Love
didn't
that.
say like, oh, take me to the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, but there's a good chance, hopefully.
And we
that
don't
we'll
want to
be there.
jinx that. We don't want to jinx that.
Yeah. So
That's
yeah.
cool. I love that.
Yeah.
As you know, we have a closing tradition on this podcast where we ask our guests to leave us with their favorite motivational or inspirational quote. So with that, I'm going to once again say thank you, Tyler Caisse, for being here.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, you inspired me. I hope my Jets are out, so this means nothing to me other than the playoffs of misery. And yeah, okay, we have the second pick, which I'll probably botch, so it doesn't mean anything. So don't give me props on that. And so with that, I am going to turn the floor back over to you and say thank you again for being here.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you.
What's your quote? Let's go.
There's a lot. There's too many. I love Nikes though. Just do it. I mean,
Just do it.
Just do it. Get after it.
Got it.
You can't do it unless you do it.
Absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Just do it. And follow Tyler because he's awesome. This has been another episode of Keep Hustling. Remember, do well by doing good. And of course, and always, keep hustling. All right, hustlers. That brings us to the end of another fantastic episode. Thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode. If you have any suggestions, comments, or even just want to say hello, please feel free to reach out to us on all social media platforms. We are Keep Hustling Pod. Until next time, stay curious, stay hungry, and keep hustling.